Hey, it's Chad at the Xcceleration Station, the official Waff studio here in Los Angeles, California, and I'm going to take you through a sensitization sequence with the medium Waff. Okay, so there's videos on the mini Waffs for activation, what I call activation. Now we're going to do a sensitization on your medium Waff. Okay, so we're going to start in what's called a quadruped position, which is a hands and knees position. I'm going to take you through a couple of movements that you can do in the quadruped. Then I'm going to take you through a very short sequence to get you used to doing weight changes and lifting one limb up and off of the Waff. This is important because when you're standing on a Waff, it's very important that you feel comfortable when your weight shifts from side to side. It's the biggest challenge standing on the medium Waff. It isn't as much the stability in the sort of obvious sense as it is on the mini Waff, but it definitely is about feeling comfortable when your weight changes from one side to the other on the medium. So let's get started in the quadruped position, which is super safe, really, really good for your central column, and we'll get you used to weight distribution changes. So here we are. Okay, here's my medium Waff. So quadruped is hands and knees. So once I'm comfortable here, I'm finding a position where I can keep my spine long, and without trying to control the Waff, the movement of the Waff, I'm trying to keep my neck in line with my spine and keep my abdomen engaged inward, but not to the point of flexing my back. I want my spine to be neutral, and I'm just going to begin by doing some basic forward and backward weight changes. I'm just tipping forward toward my hands and leaning back toward my hips. It's a very subtle movement. I just want to get comfortable with my weight changing from front to back. Now I'm going to put more weight into my left knee, and then my right knee, and then my left knee, and then my right knee. This is a similar idea as if I were sort of marching with one foot and then the other, but I'm doing it through my knee. And then that's going to build itself up into a basic cross crawl pattern, which we've already, if you've done my mini video intro, then you understand a cross crawl is the idea of opposite, right hand, left foot, or left hand, right foot. So as I'm pushing with one knee, I feel the weight, the counterweight happening in the opposite side so that I don't flip sideways. Switching. So now I'm going to deliberately add that cross crawl motion of pressing down through my right knee and simultaneously activating the Waff with my left hand. Activate with my left knee and then activate with my right hand. And this is part of the activation. Engaging the muscle. You don't need to be turning your head from side to side. I'm just doing that to engage camera. Engage you. Coming to the middle. Okay, now we're going to start a slightly more dynamic movement, but you're not going to do this. When I say dynamic, I don't mean big. I just mean that it's active, it's dynamic, it's changing. So what I'm doing, as you can see, is I'm beginning to allow my weight to become, my weight changes to become circular, so that I basically am seeking those tension points between my hands and my knees that I did initially one at a time and then I did in cross crawl. Now I'm doing circular. So I'm sort of stirring my Waff to the right. And I'm keeping my central column completely long and strong and stable in the middle. Then I'm going to reverse. I'm going to take the exact same idea of rotation, the opposite direction. Now I'm only making the movement slightly bigger so that you can see the motion. But a very subtle motion is just as effective. You're trying to listen to the Waff and allow your body to make the muscular changes that it needs. Point of information, if the wrist position, if your Waff is not as inflated as it might potentially could be, you might find the softer the Waff is, you're going to feel that your heel of your hand wants to drive through it. You can also come up onto the fists. Again, maintaining the shoulders neutral. When you're here, be careful that you don't go into protraction. You're not trying to push through the upper thoracic spine. You still want your head to be in line, so you're going to have to make those adjustments if you go to a straight wrist. But you absolutely can do the exact same exercises on a fist so that your wrist is straight and you're not absorbing any of the weight change through the flexed wrist position. Or the other thing you can also try is just adding a little bit more air to your waff and see if that fixes it. Okay, I'm comfortable there, so I'm going to go back to my hands flat. I'm going to draw my legs together, and then I'm going to extend one leg back and onto the ground. Now that I have one leg back and onto the ground, I'm going to keep that leg down, and I'm going to activate with my right knee into the waff, and then I'm going to take my right hand off the waff. So I'm activating like I did before. I'm going to come back down, and I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to put my right foot to the floor. I'm going to activate the waff with my left knee, and I'm going to extend my left hand off the waff. So every time I go to, I want to activate before I take the opposite hand off, just like when you were activating against the waff when you were all 4 points of contact on. So I'm going right foot, activate with the left knee, extend with the left arm. Great. So now this time we're going to add, the next exercise is going to be left foot back, activate with the right knee down, float your left leg off the floor until you weight change toward your hands. So it's about the height of your hip. You're going to feel a weight change toward your hands. I'm still active with my right knee into the waff. Then I'm going to weight shift back, drop the foot down, transition. Activate with my left knee, begin lifting my right leg, and then I await that weight change until I come in line. Now whether you point or flex your back foot, that's really style and up to you, whatever you're working on. It's just giving you an opportunity to work with these different weight changes on your medium waff. Right knee goes down, left foot comes up, it keeps coming up, and then you find that weight shift to the front. It's a fun little ride. Do try to keep your pelvis level, try not to open your hip to the sky or the ceiling. Weight shift back, drop the foot down. Activate, weight change, back down. Okay, so there's a nice quadruped intro onto your Waff Medium. Okay, so these weight changes, don't underestimate them. Everything builds from these foundational movements. When you go to standing, everybody wants to stand on the medium waff. It's a lot of fun. But once you're up, you're going to need to be able to be very comfortable as your body weight changes. Your body changes weight distribution quickly from one side to the other, or it might tip you forward or tip you backwards. So being comfortable with both of those motions in a very sort of low risk position is much better than trying to get comfortable with it in a higher risk position like falling off the waff. Okay, so that's a good beginning to get you started. It's also great central column work and great hip work. The more you activate against the waff, the more you're going to feel that in your hips. So enjoy your first sequence on your medium waff.